A couple things real quick. Just want to let everybody know our thoughts and prayers are for the people that's in the being affected by the hurricane, and the people that maybe are in the path of the hurricane, and just know that Eagle Nation's thinking about them, and definitely want to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Second thing, I want to thank Eagle Nation for coming out to LSU. That was a great crowd that came to watch us play, and unfortunately it didn't go how we wanted it to go, but always appreciate that support, and looking forward to them being in Paulson this week. And, obviously last week didn't go as planned as far as the way we played against LSU. LSU is a really good football team. I think that will show the rest of this season. There's some things that we've got to clean up, but ultimately that starts with me, and we'll make sure that we get better from that game. Going into this game, the Maine Black Bears, man, they're a good football team. Obviously a really good season last year, being semifinalists in the FCS playoffs, and just watching them on their film from last week, obviously a lot of returning starters on both sides of the ball, and definitely have our work cut out for us, and we got to be on point.
Coach, where's the team's health?
Right now, I think, far as the whole team, we're in pretty good shape. A couple guys that I do need to address and talk about. Justin Ellis did suffer a knee injury in the game against LSU, and is going to be out the rest of the season. Don't really have all the details on that yet, but he will be out. Showwerts took a big hit in that game, and we x-rayed him during the game. He was cleared to come back in the second half. We just felt like it was best for us not to. It was a good opportunity to get Justin Tomlin some snaps in the second half, and very proud of him. I thought he did a really good job to be put in that situation, and that was valuable for him. But as far as Shy goes right now, it's day to day. We're just looking at him and just making sure that he'll be ready to play this week.
Coach, what do you want to see from these guys in the coming days to make sure, they're maybe more prepared for this Maine team? I know you mentioned that you weren't exactly as prepared as you could have been against LSU, so what do you need to see from those guys in the coming days to say, hey, we're going to be fine on Saturday?
Well, I wouldn't say that our guys weren't prepared for the game. I mean, it was a first game type of thing. We were unsure of what LSU would look like offensively. Really all we had to go off of was the spring game. So that was something that we had to get into the game. But when you watch it, there's just a lot of one-on-one matchups that we didn't make the play. Obviously as coaches, we can prepare our guys better for things like that to try to help them. But as far as being prepared, I think our guys were ready to play that game. Unfortunately, LSU threw the first punch, and we never threw one back. And but again, like I said, that starts with me. I just got to make sure that we're a little bit better when it comes to those type of things. But like I've said, that game does not define us, and it's not going to define our season. It's all about how you handle things and how you move on. Our guys were in a great frame of mind yesterday in the team meeting and at practice, and they want it, and they have a chip on their shoulder. And I do think you'll see a better football team this week.
Coach, defense was supposed to be one of the strengths this year of the team. Didn't really get any pressure on the quarterback Saturday. There were breakdowns or missed assignments throughout. Are you concerned about the defense at all?
Well, again, if you say breakdowns and missed assignments, are we sure we know that?
Well, I'm just saying there were plays that weren't made, as you mentioned, okay, on one-on-one situations.
Again, I think I would lean more toward that. There were a lot of one-on-one matchups that we wasn't able to execute on, and we got to continue to work better at our technique and fundamentals to try to get that done. I got to give credit to LSU, I really do, and I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. Georgia Southern's got to play better, and we got to play better in those type of environments, and we've got to make sure that when we go into that, we're ready to make plays when plays need to be made. But again, I think our guys are fine. I watch them work every day. They're working on their craft, and our coaches are doing a tremendous job with them. There's no need to hit the panic button. I promise you that. These guys, they're working hard, and I know you'll see a better football team this week.
home field advantage is such a big thing for Georgia Southern, is there any worry about less people maybe showing up because of the hurricane, or do you think Eagle Nation's going to show out and support you all through it?
I think Eagle Nation will be excited about being our first home game, and I'm sure they'll be here. I know weather can deter that, and if it causes that, I mean, I get it. I mean, everybody wants to be able to enjoy a football game, and everybody wants to be safe and that type of stuff. So, again, we'll be excited to have a lot of people in the stands. If the weather causes that not to happen, our guys will go out and play just as hard as if they were there. And so, but we appreciate any support with anybody that does show up for the game.
On a similar note, TK just said that right now everything's moving forward as planned, and it's one thing to keep everybody focused on that, saying that everything's going forward as initially planned, but a lot of the guys on the team, they might have families who are being evacuated right now. What's the process like as a coach to keep on preparing for a game you have to play, but acknowledging that a lot of those players might have parents that are on the move right now?
Well, I think it's important, and again, we can't just give lip service to things of, when I talk about Georgia Southern football as a family business, not a business. It's a family business. We can't just play lip service to that. It's important to me, and it's important to our staff that we are checking on our players constantly, building relationships, open dialogue, open communication. So if there are things going on like that, we want to be able to help our guys with it. We're not just going to say, man, we got a football game, don't bring up anything. That doesn't make any sense to me. This world, this life, it's a lot bigger than football. Football is a catalyst that brings us all together. And but we're going to make sure that our guys feel comfortable with what's going on with their families.
Coach, it's a new week, so how is the team's morale?
I think it's great. Like I said, they came in yesterday. They were very locked in and focused. They were very intent on seeing the things that we could do better in a football game. They were very, locked in as far as trying to make sure that we played a better game as a whole team. I think what you saw Saturday was a little bit different from what we were last year, in that last year our offense helped our defense helped our offense, our special teams helped our offense and defense, and we just didn't quite have that going on Saturday. So, again, I think the things that we were able to show them on film and the things that we preach daily, I think you'll start to see that from our football team.
Coach, we all know how tough Shy is. It's going to be tough to, if he's anywhere close to healthy, he wants to play, I'm sure, but you guys have to err on the side of we need you for the whole season. What kind of goes into your thought process this week when determining who to play at quarterback this week, and how confident are you in Justin?
Well, because Shy's day-to-day, obviously we got to keep monitoring it. We did not let him practice. He could have practiced yesterday, but we didn't let him. We just wanted to give him another day off. Again, Justin gets just about as many reps as Shy gets in practice. The difference would be if he's getting it with the first team O or the second team O. But we'll monitor that, and I've got a lot of trust in Justin Tomlin. For him to only have one snap last year in 2018 and then be able to come in and function in the second half against LSU and really manage and, took care of the football. Again, we were not productive as a whole on offense, so you can't just point fingers at people. But I was very impressed with how he handled the situation and how he came in and led the offense. But I have a lot of confidence in him, and if he ends up being the guy that plays this week, I think he can lead us to victory.
Last time Georgia Southern played a highly ranked FCS team was New Hampshire, New Birmingham 2 years ago. What was taken away from that game to avoid another FCS falter this season? Well,
I think again it's not focusing on what level an opponent is, because if you watch Maine, they're a really good football team. I mean, they could easily be in the Sun Belt. They could easily compete with anybody in the Sun Belt. And so we got to be mindful of that. Again, as we go through each week, it's about us, and we got to make sure we're getting better at the things we do. Our offensive identity and our defensive identity and our special teams, all that stuff's got to start meshing and going together. So we got to concentrate on us, and we got to respect our opponent. And I promise you we'll do that, because when we turn on this film and our guys look at this film, they're going to see Maine's a very good football team.